Come make me tell you about the things them way I want, sir. Back in the days when the dancer used to warm, sir. When Clinton Lindsay used to bust them, make them go on, sir. Whole heap of artists Clinton bring come up America. Some never know say Clinton Lindsay.
Hey, welcome to Now You Know with Clinton Lindsay. I want to thank you all for visiting my YouTube channel, for subscribing, and for leaving your comments. Thank you very, very much. As usual, you know, we go back as we take a look at the career for 45 years. So here we go. I'm going to go back to let's say, the summer of 1985. After I did my summer series and then we're going into the fall, into the winter, what I generally did was to ask the audience which hot artists they would want to see next, that they would want to bring in. And I figure if they call the shots, then, you know, I'm going to do well. The show will do well because these are the people that the listening audience want to see. The two biggest names at that time, coming out of the summer, going into the fall, was Beres Hammond and Tenor. So I opened the phone lines for maybe about 2 weeks and have the listeners telling me who they want to see. Beres and Tenor came out on top. But by the second week, I noticed a trend. All the women that called were asking for Beres Hammond, was saying, bring Beres Hammond, oh, Beres this, Beres that. And all the guys all the man them just strictly Tenor. And I noticed that trend, and I'm like thinking to myself, saying, Beres, Tenor, that's a good package right there. With a package like that, I know definitely at the Beacon Theatre, I could do 2 shows, because that's a definite sellout package right there. Beres for the women, Tenor for the men. So I said, okay, you know what? That's exactly what I'm going to do. Each year, I usually have 4 dates on reserve at the Beacon Theatre. You get a better deal where you have more dates. And the date after that summer show, it would have been December 28th. And here we are, I believe it would be in October. So I set out to get Beres Hammond and to get Tenor. I had previous relationship with Beres, so I knew it's just a matter of just telling Beres what date and work something out. I've never met Tenor. He would be someone that I have never met. I would have to go out and try my best to get him. So I made my trip to Jamaica, and when I reached Jamaica, I went by Skateland, because that's where in those days any artist you want to find in Jamaica, you go by the parking lot at Skateland. So I saw Barry Clark, and Barry and I have a relationship. Whenever I needed an artist, Barry would, either go find them or he would tell me where I could find them. So when I drove in, I saw him and I told him that I need to talk to Beres. So he set it up and spoke with Beres, and Beres and I cut a deal. We agreed that we're going to do, what I'm going to pay him and so on. It was no problem, because Beres was just so hot with all these songs. What One Dance Can Do, Groovy Little Thing, and She Loves Me Now. This would have been Beres' first solo concert. He had traveled when he was with Zapow, 79, 80, they travel and tour all over the world. Since he's on his own, this would be his first solo act. We work out the deal, and Beres would, sign up his agreement, and Beres was no problem. The next thing for me to do now is to find Tenor and work out a deal with him. I called Early B and I said, yo, Doc, I need to find Tenor. And he said, no problem, and went check him. We went all over Kingston looking for Tenor. When we reach one spot, they say he just left. When we reach another spot, they will say he hasn't come yet. And it just, for almost a full day, driving back and forth, hunting this man down. I went to a place, Early B took me to a place. It was a 3-story building, and I don't know what district or whatever, but still in Kingston. And there they said that I think he had a girlfriend in the building or something. But the guy from JBC, Bunny Spence, he lived in that building. I think he was on the 3rd floor. Because I remember when we drove in and Doctor shouted at him from down here, shout out, and he came down and he was telling me, Bunny Spence, that Tenor mother lived off the Washington Boulevard across from Corville. And he gave me the address and I went there and I was there for a while talking with the mother. She kept telling me that Tenor is due to come in a minute now. So I waited, maybe talking to the lady, maybe a hour and a half. And still nothing, he didn't show. So again, Early B and I was just driving all over the place. Early B now was just asking other artists where to find Tenor, and them say, oh, him down here, we over there, and eventually we drove to this football field, and could be a high school football field or just where they play soccer. And so he was there, and I went over to him and I was telling him I'm interested in taking him to New York, and he said, yeah, he heard that I was in Jamaica looking for him and all that crap. I said, I needed to be on this package, and Beres Hammond is gonna be the main attraction. And who told me to tell him that? The man just said, no. If he's coming to New York, he's a superstar, and he has to be the headline of the show. I'm say, yeah, well, and I explained to him about the women wanting to see Beres, and the man them I say, yes, definitely Tenor. So you would be the star of the show for your genre, and then Beres as a lovers rock artist would. And he said, no. I was offering him $3,000 in 1985. That's a lot of money. I asked him if money was the issue. He said no, him just want to be the star of the show. And I was offering him $3,000, and I said to him, all right, listen, let me increase it. Let me increase the fee, and see if that would work. And I was paying Beres $5,000 for that show. And again, 1985, $5,000 is top notch. We tried to get Tenor to agree, and he didn't agree. No matter what I say to him, and I tried to sweeten the deal as much, but I was determined that Beres Hammond would be on top of the list, and he was determined that if he's not on top of the list, he's not gonna do it. He's not interested. So Doc talked to him. Doctor went over and talked to him also, and he just wouldn't move from that stance. And eventually, I had to go back to New York now to set up the package and start the promotion and so on and so on. I went back to Beres, and Light Parks and We the People band. That was the backing band. So I had to also contract Light Parks. So Beres said that Light Parks was around somewhere off Oxford Road, some private house, rehearsing for some show. So I said, all right. So we went around there and we saw Light Parks. And I did tell Beres that, I was trying to get Tenor, and it didn't work out. He suggested when we got to that place where Light Parks was rehearsing, Light Parks was rehearsing with Sophia George. And Beres was saying, maybe we could do Sophia George. When we talked to her manager, he said that the date wasn't possible. That was December 28th, wasn't possible. And I was telling Beres, yo, I've seen Sophia on TV and her video, and I have this massive crush on her. And Beres was telling me, yo, my youth, don't even think it, because her boyfriend there, he keeps a keen eye on her. I'm saying, yeah, all right. So deal with light parks, everything set. We're leaving out of the yard now. And the next thing me and Beres showed, my youth, take a picture. And here's the picture. In the background now you can't see that picture. There he was hugging up Sophia George, and it was like, alright Beres, alright, rub it in buddy, rub it in. Anyway, so all of that was done. I went back to New York, did the show. The show, I remember using Early B, and I know, I think Charlie Chaplin was on that show. I'm very likely Delroy Wilson, because in those days, Early B and Delroy Wilson were two artists that I always, have on my shows. Show went off well. Beres, we did one sold out show with just Beres and the other crew and the other guys. I knew if I had Tenor, we could have done 2 shows, but that wasn't to be. I got Beres another date in Miami, his first Miami date. We developed a relationship right after that. I did, several more things with him. That's 1985. Sometime in 1987, I got a call from Sugar Minott. Now, I brought in Black Scorpio, Jammies, Black Star, and maybe 1 or 2 other sounds. And Sugar Minott been telling me that when Youthman promotion is coming up, he wants me to be the one to bring the sound, to be the promoter of it. And, I say, yo, Sugar, whenever you're ready, just link me up, So he called me in 1987, early part of 1987. But he said to me that he has worked out a deal with a big spender. And the guy's gonna do the show, gonna do Youthman promotion. But Sugar Minott still gonna make me eat some food from it. And that was the first time I heard that term, eat some food. And I'm like, say what, Sugar? He said, yeah man, I want to make you eat some food still. Because I told the guy that you have to be the one to do the paperwork, the visas and so on. I'm saying, alright, cool. So Sugar said he's gonna, give the guy my number and the guy will call me and I just work out whatever I'm working out with him. So we can still eat some food off of the package. Maybe 2 weeks later or so, I got the call from the guy. He said that, Sugar told him that, boy, I'm the man to do the permits. I said, yeah, okay. So I asked him who's he thinking of doing. Well, he mentioned a few names. But the name that I recognized was Tenor and the Selector. Don't remember the Selector's name now. But there is an artist, them, I don't recognize them. But as you know, or you may not know, Youthman promotion was a sound that breaks a lot of artists. So I wouldn't, those guys on the set at the time, the DJs, I'm not surprised. So I'm talking to this guy now. He said he's gonna do it at the Empire Roller Ring, and I said, alright. So he asked me how much I'll charge him to do the package, and I gave him a price, and the man went, yo, nah man, that's too much money. What do you mean too much money? Then that everybody me charge everybody, brethren. He said no, and he specifically said he has a Jewish lawyer in Manhattan that can do it and much less, because that's the guy that take care of all of his other cases, whatever. That's his personal lawyer. I say, yeah, that might be so, but guess what? I can guarantee you that this lawyer in Manhattan will be able to fill out the paperwork, get the approval. But the thing is, I'm sure he doesn't have boots on the ground in Jamaica. And with these young artists, you gotta have boots on the ground. They can't just walk into the embassy and say there is a petition, because this is what I'm explaining to the guy. I have people on the ground that will round up the artists, fill out them forms, make sure every question, because you do have a few tricky questions on that application. And I have people that will fill out the form, do the groundwork, pre-interview these guys, tell them what is expected and so on and so on. Your lawyer don't have that. He say, yeah man, them man, the powerful man, whatever he's telling me. I say, brethren, alright, if that's the course you want to take, Go ahead, do it. But I'm telling you, I can guarantee you I will get these guys. Because this is what I do. This is why Sugar said to you, make sure you use me. I say, yeah, but I charge too much money. And I said, all right, me leave it alone. And they started to run in commercial now. Started to run commercial, hearing commercial. I said, fine, good. The show was supposed to be this Saturday. And I got a call from the guy, I believe it was the Tuesday or the Wednesday. And it was like, big man, boy, all hell broke loose at the embassy. I said, really, what happened? So it's only 2 people got work permit. Was Tenor and the selector. I said, Bridget, didn't I tell you? I told you. Those are the two names I recognize. And the rest, he said that they turn everybody down. And what can I do for him now? I said, what you expect me? The show is Saturday. No, I'm going to have 2-3 days to get work permits. It don't work like that, Bridget. I told you from day one. He said, yeah, you did. But, what can be done now? I said, there's nothing I can do. Nothing I can do at this point. Because I need at least 2 weeks to do something. You're talking less than just a couple of days. And I told you that it wouldn't work. I said, boy, I just saw them things that go on. So the dance went off. I believe the dance went off. Yeah, it did go off. By that Saturday, most New Yorkers who would be coming to the dance already learned and heard that, boy, the man them get turned down and it's only Tenor and the selector coming up. And I guess the promoter used some local artists and so on and so on. Later down in the year, Clive also and myself were keeping a dance at a club in Manhattan, Lower Manhattan. Don't remember the name of the club now. The lady at the door called me and said that you have some guys outside saying that they wanted to see me. And I'm like, really? I don't usually go to the at the door, because you see one guy, everybody gotta see you. Yo, Clinton, and next thing you know, you have a bag of man coming in free. She was at the box office, and there's a little cutout where you would put your money in and get your tickets. So I bent down and I look and I said, who want to talk to me? And I heard the voice outside. It was in the winter, because they had a winter jacket. Yo, big man, I mean Tenor, sir. Me look virgin them there and I want to come and dance and get a little vibe. Tenor, sir. I said, oh, Tenor, sir. So I said to her, okay, let him search them and let them. I think there were like 4 of them. Tenor and 3 others. So he came in. I guess maybe I said a thing or two to him when he came into the dance hall, but not much. I gave him the opportunity 2 years ago to come to New York as a big star, opening for Beres Hammond basically, and he turned it down. And look at him now, Anyhow, that was that. By the summer of 1988. There was a report coming out of Texas that dancehall artist Tenor was found dead. He was found dead in a garbage dump or near a garbage dump. And according to the reports, he has been dead for a couple of days. So there's no accurate date. It was in August of 1988. There was no exact date of his demise. Tenor was 21 years old. What could have been? I know. Now you know. Thanks for watching and keep spreading the word. Thanks for your subscription. Until next time, you take care. Bye-bye.
And Lindsay a promoter. Bring up the biggest set of artists from Jamaica. Like Super Cat and Mr. Early be the doctor. Only for artists, no for them me can't remember. Who can remember when them used to keep Jamaica? The kind of show that used to give out no for water. To reggae artists.